Hey, Bill McRae here again for you from the Bulletproof Email Solutions and from the Emails by Fault. One of the key things you need to think about is how to keep control and organize your ideas, because in order to really brand yourself in the market and to be able to stand out to your, whether it's email list buyer, people on Facebook, or whatever way you communicate with your community, is to make yourself as a branded expert in a particular field. And there are a lot of ways to do that. And it can be a little frustrating because there are too many ways. But the good news is there's one very solid, trusted way to go about doing it. In my case, I do content, videos, right? I sit in front of my computer and I talk to the little green dot right there. And I just share with you my experience, what's going on, how I overcome challenges and stuff like that. And I just talk really naturally right from my off the top of my head. There's no script, nothing like that. I have a topic in mind based on what ideas pop into my brain during the course of the day. And how I organize that is I take my phone here, and if I have an idea, I have an iPhone, there's this thing called Notepad, and I just pull it up and I go to the page that says YouTube content, and I can't really show it to you there. Here it is. And I just say, make a video about content, or make a video about how to get open rates, cultivation of list marketing, which autoresponders are the worst, what's better to have a self-hosted versus an autoresponder service. So I just, whenever it pops into my brain, I write it down onto my notepad here. And it's synced to all my Mac devices. So I am a Mac guy. I'm sorry. I used to be a PC guy. Then I bought this Mac right there 10 years ago. And I'm still using it. This Mac that I'm looking at you on is, it's only 4 years old. I bought it in 2016. So it's about 3 years old. And so I expect to use a Mac for at least 8 to 10 years versus PCs. I was buying a new one every 2 years. And I haven't had a single virus problem, and I can go on and on and on why I prefer Macs over PCs. Not the least of which is, since I bought a Mac, I could work. But anyhow, let's get back to the topic here. The most important thing to do is to be consistently producing content. In my case, it's videos. Okay. Now, I'm going to just produce a lot of videos, 1 to 2 videos per day, at least 5 days a week. So let's say 10 new videos a week. I just write down on my notepad here what the topic is, and I'll think about it a little bit and decide, you know, what I want to talk about. Then I just get in front of my Camtasia video camera and I talk like I'm doing right this minute. Nothing planned, nothing script, just kind of a basic framework that I've kind of conceived when I created my notes. So the point of this is I want the content that I distribute to my market to be like you're talking to your buddy, okay? Just getting advice from a friend. I don't want it to be overly slick or overly produced or written by a copywriter or anything like that. I don't want it to be something that sounds forced. I want it to be Bill talking to you. And I do that because I want you to trust me. Because as I advise people in my process about what to do or not to do for making money online, you'll say, I really trust that guy and I really like him. So you're more likely to follow my advice. So this is what I do. As I create a content machine, and I'm the machine, and this computer right here is what's producing that. And I just, every time something pops in my head, 5 or 6 new ideas a day go onto my notepad. And then in the mornings, I'll get up and I'll be, the mind is always working and thinking about, yeah, I really need to cover this, or I want to cover this, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. It's great, and I think it's a wonderful thing. So I have that conversation ready to go with you. And so when I sit down in front of this bloody computer, I'm not having to type anything and think about grammar or nothing else. I can just talk to you. And there's nothing pretentious or nothing difficult about it. I mean, I know a lot of people don't want to be in front of the computer. They feel like they got to be perfect or whatever. You don't. You can just be yourself and talk. And there are people out there who are going to want to listen. So I believe to brand yourself effectively now, you've got to produce quality, heartfelt content and a lot of it. And then you have to use certain tools to really get the message across. In my case, I'm starting to wrap my videos in a video wrapper, which would be basically like a logo at the bottom. And I distribute them using Hootsuite. So they go to my YouTube account and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all these different sources. So I'm really kind of setting myself up to make it easy for me to produce content, kind of polish it up a little bit, and then distribute it with the knowledge that the intent of the content is to win you over and sell you products. But you're also going to know the stuff I'm selling you is real. Because when I'm looking at that little green dot they're talking to you, you're a real person to me. You're not just somebody I'm trying to get 50 bucks out of. I mean, there's lots of people I can just get 50 bucks out of, and that's the bulk of your internet marketers are like, how do I get this guy for 1,000 bucks? I mean, I truly do want you to be successful. And if your mindset is, I just want to get the guy for 1,000 bucks, you might have some short-term success, but in the long run, you're going to fail. So think about how you can produce a lot of content to brand yourself to a message, to a theme, to a concept, and then how you're going to distribute it and how you want it to look. It's not hard to do once you set your plan in action, but it's not good enough to just come out with something once in a while. And it's certainly not good enough to just spam people with emails saying, buy this or your world's coming to an end. All right, you be good.